Greetings, world leaders, activists, conservationists, ladies and gentlemen. 2021 United Nations Climate Change Conference, COP26, was a chance for people to make their voices heard like never before. But this is not enough. We need to fix climate change problem in one generation, not just to talk about what we can do, but to do what we can. I am Erfan Firouzi, 17-year-old environmentalist, conservationist and researcher, speaking to you from Dubai, United Arab Emirates. When I first started researching and documenting life on Earth some 8 years ago, I never imagined that I would one day stand here speaking about human-caused threats like climate change and biodiversity loss. 5 mass extinctions have happened over life's 4.5 billion year history. The last time it happened was the event that brought an end to the age of dinosaurs. A meteorite impact created a catastrophic change in the Earth's conditions. Well, the same is happening now, at a faster rate. We are now the dinosaurs and our actions are the meteorite. The Holocene was one of the most stable periods in our planet's history. Phytoplankton on the ocean surface and immense forests straddling the globe have helped to balance the atmosphere by locking away carbon. Huge herds on the plains have kept the grasslands rich and productive by fertilizing the soils. Mangroves and coral reefs along thousands of miles of coast have harbored nurseries of fish species that, when mature, then range into open waters. A thick belt of jungles around the equator have piled plant on plant to capture as much as sun's energy as possible, adding moisture and oxygen to the global air currents. And the extent of the polar ice have been critical, reflecting sunlight back off its white surface, cooling the whole Earth. The biodiversity of the Holocene was the key to this stability. But we have left the Holocene behind. Our impacts have gave this new age a new name, a name after us, the age of humans, the Anthropocene. Since 1937, the world's population has increased from 2.3 billion to 7.8 billion. The carbon dioxide in our atmosphere has increased from 280 parts per million to 415 parts per million. The wildlife has decreased from 66% to only 35%. A change in the atmospheric carbon has always been a challenge to Earth. It was a future of all 5 mass extinctions. In previous events, however, it had taken volcanic activity up to 1 million years to create enough carbon from within the Earth to cause a catastrophe. By burning millions of years of living organisms all at once, as coal and oil, we have managed to do so in less than 200 years. We have to keep in mind that our planet is vulnerable. We have to realize that our home is not limitless. There is an edge to our existence. By thinking such, it becomes clear that we are ultimately bound by and reliant upon the finite natural world around us. My generation realized the impacts that we had on our planet, and we want change. This is a future that I know anyone in my age wants. We want a future in which we can thrive, a future in which we live, not in a future doomed. We have overfished 30% of the fish stocks to critical levels. 10 to 40% of the fish caught are bycatch. This is a huge impact on global biodiversity, and many species are simply fished to extinction. We cut down over 15 billion trees each year. We have cut down trillion trees across the world. Half of the world's rainforests have already been cleared. We breathe in what trees breathe out, and they breathe in what we breathe out. We are nature. By damming, polluting and over-extracting rivers and lakes, we have reduced the freshwater populations by over 80%. We are replacing the wild with the tame. Half of the fertile lands on Earth are now farmland. 70% of the mass of birds on Earth are domestic birds. We account for over 1/3 of the weight of mammals on Earth. A further 60% are the animals we raise to eat. The rest, from mice to whales, only account for 4%. The planet can't support billions of meat eaters. There simply isn't the space. We may be thinking that eating meat, we would be as strong as an ox, forgetting an ox itself eats grass. Remember, if the natural world collapses, we collapse. Apart from the Amazon, the oceans are the lungs of our planet. Somewhere between 50 to 85% of all the oxygen we breathe comes from the marine phytoplankton. Tiny ocean plants that through the process of photosynthesis produce oxygen. The oceans also play a vital role in regulating temperature and overall climate. This is now our planet, run by humankind for humankind. We are facing the collapse of the living world, the very thing that gave birth to our civilizations. Talking is enough. We have been doing so for as long as I can remember. We must act now. The Anthropocene can surely be the age where humans would become part of nature once again, not a future in which we blindly dragged ourselves towards extinction. All of us, young and old, must act now. Make sure the agreements of COP are well settled and the words turn to action. We have no time to waste. Our world is really at this point of reaching an end. It is true. We are the greatest problem solvers to have ever existed on our planet. But will we and can we save it on time? Every moment we delay means an increase in how much warmer our planet will be. It is now code red for humanity. The past 5 years have been the hottest years on record since 1850s. In just 50 years, humanity has wiped out 68% of the global wildlife populations. 9 out of 10 of us breathe unhealthy air. The Amazon rainforest now emits more CO2 than it can absorb. This shows that each minute, ecosystems on even the minute ecosystems on Earth are connected to each other. If one of these chains break, the whole planet falls out of balance. 9 planetary boundaries keep Earth stable. We have now exceeded 4 of them: climate, forests, nutrients, and biodiversity. To restore the biodiversity and to restore the stability of our planet, we must restore its biodiversity, the very thing we have removed. We must use this chance to make a wilder world, and our motivation should not be fear, but hope. If we are forced powerful enough to destabilize our whole planet, we are surely powerful enough to save it. You all are in positions where you can make a difference. If ever we needed a strong signal to start taking action, it is now. Remember, time is ticking, and we can't lose track. Thank you.